My next guest has been addicted to drugs, he's got involved in crime and he's ended up in prison. He's also had to deal with relationship breakdowns, family feuds, unhappy reunions, phobias, weight problems, low self-esteem and jealousy. But Ricky isn't here for help. He gives it. He's worked with me for nearly 10 years as one of my trusty counsellors, so please welcome Ricky. What was your background with drugs?
Well, basically, I got into drugs at a very early age. I started smoking cannabis when I was 13, and by the time I was 15, I was smoking heroin, using speed and LSD. Then I started, by the time I was 16, I was injecting heroin, and then I was a registered addict at the age of 19, so I was on methadone for quite a few years after that, as well as using lots of other drugs. And
so how long in total were you addicted to drugs then?
16 years altogether.
So what made you turn, or how did you come to turn your life around?
Well, fear, really. I was, you know, I hit my rock bottom, which was to say, you know, I'm scared I'm going to die, I'm going to spend my life in prison, and that was all I felt I was left with unless I got away from the drugs.
All right, well, we've got some emails from some of our viewers, so let's have a look at the first one. It says, my dad is tearing my family apart as he does nothing but drink and get into debt, which he then comes to my grandma and granddad for help. I'm really scared of the amount my dad is drinking. I tell myself that I'm going to lose my dad because of drink, and at the moment I will sometimes cry myself to sleep thinking about my dad. So please, can you help me? I want to show my dad that if he carries on drinking, he loses his family. Thank you. That's drink, and you, being an expert, especially on addiction, you can't make somebody else do it, can you?
No way, and sometimes you can do the most extraordinary things in front of someone who's in an addiction, and they won't bat an eyelid because they are on a different planet, they're in a different state of mind, and they're probably already self-medicating because they don't want to feel about their family. They don't want to feel about others, and so they do want to shut themselves down.
So what can I email her do?
Well, one thing is I would certainly have a little word with Granny and Grandad and say, you know, stop enabling
don't give him any money.
Don't give him any money. Like, the dad has to hit his own rock bottom. And I would say that, you know, she probably has to set a boundary for herself. Like, one of the boundaries for me in becoming clean was to say, right, I'm not going to have friends who are taking hard drugs, and I will not allow anyone like that to be in my home. So
they've got to do the same thing.
Yeah, she has to accept that maybe the way her dad is being, he actually isn't behaving like a dad at all. And look at it that his behaviour is wrong and his behaviour is unacceptable. Somewhere underneath that, alcohol is the dad, but without the alcohol being there, he's not going to be an effective dad.
OK, so here's the second email. It says, hi, I'm a 19-year-old girl and I have really bad anger problems. I've been like it since I was about 11 or 12, and over the past few years, I've been arrested multiple times. When I was 16, I even stabbed someone for embarrassing me in front of loads of people. A few weeks ago, I glassed a friend of mine when I was drunk, and it's made me really think about the way I'm acting. I make my mum's life hell, but I just cannot stop myself, and that's from Steph. Anger problems.
Yeah, and this is the serious end of anger problems. You know, she's saying that she can't help herself. So there's either something going on in the brain where she really can't help herself, or it's to the point where you get these people who talk about the red mist or seeing red, and then they don't know what's happening.
So what can she do?
Well, I would say she really seriously needs to get help, very serious help, because, you know, these incidents, she could have easily killed someone or, you know, maimed someone for life or anything like that. Yeah, so I would say go to the doctor. I would say ask about counselling, and I would check out getting some anger management. There are lots of therapists who either run courses in anger management or do provide their own one-to-one anger management counselling.
So don't just put up with it. do something. As you see this programme going out now, pick up the phone, call your doctor for a first stop and ask about counselling. Yeah. And we've got some questions in the audience. Yes, hi.
Hi, yeah. I know quite a few people who have been in the same situation as you, being addicted to things and that, and they seem to think to themselves that there's no way they can change, but you're living proof here that you can. What would be, they always seem to not know the steps of how to improve their life. What would you say the first step to making your life better would be?
Well, there's a lot in that sometimes not accepting the way forwards is a way of keeping the problem going. It's called denial. The way to actually stop any addiction is to actually stop taking what you are addicted to, preferably with medical help, because, for instance, with alcohol, 1 in 10 people can die if they just stop drinking just like that. So they do need to have medical help, particularly if they are drinking a lot. I would say the first step is always to admit to yourself that there is a problem, and then to ask for help. And there is lots of help. Keep asking
for it as well.
Yeah, you know, I asked for help for 10 years until I actually got the right kind of help for me to allow my life to move forwards and me to leave all that behind.
Yeah, and I've got to say, you're a good role model to other people for getting off the addiction and everything.
You said that you was 13 when you first took drugs. What kind of influence was you around? How come you was able to get access at such a young age?
Well, I would say that I was actually into hanging around with people who was a bit older than me, and they was my role models, they was my heroes, they were people I trusted, and they was people I respected and wanted to be like. So, unfortunately, I didn't have very good role models around me. Okay. I did have some good role models around me, but I ignored them and preferred the ones who were a bit naughtier.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And one more question? Yes.
Like Scott over there, I know a lot of people that do drink and drugs. And the other day, I actually walked in on one of my friends who was on ketamine, and he was shaking and everything. And it really scared me. I don't understand I've never done drugs, so I actually don't understand the appeal to that. What makes someone want to do it? Like that scared the life out of me.
Well, actually, I don't understand the appeal of ketamine, and I'm glad I pretty much got out of all of the drug scene as ketamine came around. But the general attraction with drugs is a very social part of it. You know, most people who take ketamine and stuff like that are going out raving, they're going out partying.
I was with about 5 other people, but it scared me.
Yeah, and it is scary to an outsider. I had people say to me, you know, your eyes were rolling around in your head last night, you was falling asleep on your feet, and it scared us. And I was like, what? There was nothing wrong with me. So I would deny that. But the attraction is an escapism, there's a social element to it, and sometimes for me, it was a bit of a rebellion element as well.
OK, thank you very much. And let's thank Ricky. Because that's all we've got time for today. So, big thank you to my audience. Thank you for being here. Thanks to Ricky for all his help and advice over the years. But until next time, bye-bye. Take care.